Alsecco bark effect. Natural wood panels are an expensive choice for walls, but there are other options that are less expensive. Alsecco, a German company, has a line called Bark Effect. That is one of them. It has a special mix of plaster and paints that are different colors. It's not hard to make something look like wood panels. First, the master glues tape where the seams will be. Then a layer of plaster mix is spread over the wall. Before the material hardens, it must be worked on with a roller and then a float to create the texture. Also, you have to take off the sticky tape before the mix dries. After the mix has dried, the last steps are taken. First, the worker paints the wall with a light color, and then he or she paints it with a dark color. When you put all of these steps together, you can make a design that looks like real wood panels. Curb roller. With the help of this piece of equipment, it is possible to create concrete products with complex shapes on the construction site. The advantage of the roller is that it reduces the procedure to two simple steps. The first is pouring the concrete mixture into the formwork. The second is giving it the right shape. Its shape and texture allow the curb roller to create a finished barrier. As it moves over the soft mixture, it is a curve in this case. But if you change the shape of the roller, you can make other things out of concrete, like a gutter. The people who made the curb roller say that it will make the work go at least twice as fast as it did before. Brick masonry template. This tool is simple, but it works well to make a smooth joint when laying, lining, or stacking bricks. The device is put in place on the row of bricks where they are laid, and mortar is put in the space between the frame's edges. Then, all the master has to do is spread it out with a trowel so that it's even with the frame. So, in just a few seconds, a layer of about 0.4 inches thick and perfectly flat is created. The device is so easy to make that you can do it yourself with pieces of wood or metal. SikaQuick Patch. Regular visitors to our homepage are very familiar with the process of repairing defects in asphalt pavement using various patches. Now, I'll show you how to do the same thing with a concrete sidewalk. Surprisingly, this material can also be used to make patches. SikaQuick is a ready-made patch. One batch is enough to cover a 1 square foot hole that is half an inch deep. The whole process takes 10 to 20 minutes, and one person can do it. In less than an hour, the surface will be ready, and cars will be able to start driving on it. Stackton. With this technology, putting together concrete blocks is as easy as putting together a child's building set. The user works with regular wall blocks as well as stacked and anchor blocks. They go in the holes and hold the layers of masonry in place. Even though the builder doesn't use any outside tools or bonding mortar, the wall is strong and stable when it's done. The weight of the wall itself keeps the blocks where they are. Last but not least, it's important to know that the technology is reliable enough that it can even be used to build walls that can hold weight. Template for masonry blocks. If you still have to use old-fashioned technology, this tool will make the work go much faster. It looks and works like a Stackton, which has already been mentioned. With this template, you can spread mortar evenly on concrete blocks, so it has a different width, and you can make your own template out of a float and some wooden panels. Concrete panel fence. This fence is an interesting and cheap way to fence in any space. It doesn't take long to put it in place. The only part of the process that takes time is putting in the supports. They are put in holes that are filled with concrete to make the foundation, just like any other building. The fence is made of concrete panels that were made ahead of time. Because the posts are shaped in a certain way, you can just slide the panels between them and secure them with a small amount of mortar. The finished fence works just just as well and looks as good as any other fence. Zip system. The next system can make the process of insulating a building much easier. It has walls and roof panels, as well as special tape that sticks them together. First, the manufacturer says to cover the building's outside, and then the seams between the outside and the inside. The steps are easy to follow. It doesn't take much work and only one person is needed to do it. If you compare it to other types of insulation, you might say that it works 40% of the time. The panels are made of wood that has been modified. The maker guarantees that they are strong and will last. The finished surface saves energy and acts as a barrier against water that doesn't let vapor through. Icynene spray foam. Icynene, a Belgian company, offers another good way to keep buildings warm. You can use their foam to seal a room against moisture and heat loss at the same time. Icynene foam can make a room 50% more energy efficient than any other materials that are often used for the same purpose. When it comes in contact with air, the material expands and fills any holes in seconds, so the foam can reach even places that are far away and hard to get to. Since the material is liquid when it is first made, it takes up little space and is easy to move. SpideREX K8. The Italian company Rex Pole has made a building insulation system called the SpideREX K8, which has been patented and is a big step forward. A sheet of polystyrene foam keeps the outside of the building warm. On top of the material, a three-dimensional plastic grid is put in place to make it stronger. It has flat pieces that fit together so that the plaster can be sprayed on in an even layer. Also, the mesh has a special surface that keeps the plaster from slipping while it is being sprayed. This makes the work go much faster and lets you make a layer that is perfect even without any extra work. But the main benefit of the system described is how easy and quick it is to set up. Movable Formwork MIMAL. Making curved retaining walls is not a problem with this tool at all. The metal formwork has wheels that allow it to slide along the curve. This makes it mobile. Also, the height and width of the structure can be changed, which makes it the best choice for almost any project. You'll not only save time but also money and stuff. Before, these formworks were made of wood, but now you don't have to pay for delivering or making the materials. The amount of concrete used is cut down because the device only lets you use the amount that is written down in the project documentation. Baumit CreativeTop. Today, more and more companies are making materials that look like natural wood. This is not surprising since these materials are easy to find and are in high demand. The way it's worked on is similar to that of SEC, but instead of using a roller to make texture, it's done with a brush. The master uses a special float in this case. Its surface is wavy, and when it comes into contact with soft plaster, it makes a pattern that looks like wood. A regular construction ruler is used to cut the seams in the surface before it dries. In the last step, the worker paints the surface with two colors to make it look more real. ByBlock. The next building idea we're going to talk about is not only cheap, but also good for the environment. ByBlocks, made by the American company Fusion, are the first building materials in the world to be made entirely from recycled plastic waste. These blocks are great for building fences and walls that don't have to hold anything. They don't fall apart like concrete blocks do. As a load-bearing part, a metal frame is used. This keeps glue and other bonding materials from having to be used. ByBlock is good for the environment. also making them release 41 times fewer greenhouse gases into the air than making concrete blocks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell buttons.